Ron Goodall, FightHype.com. I'm here with my man Charles Conwell, coming off a sensationalized, super awesome knockout, second round knockout to the body shot that everyone was talking about. A couple of days removed from that, how does it feel to be back in the ring and just get a stoppage?
It feels good, man. It feels good to just be active and back in the ring. This is my second fight in such a short span from being off a long layoff. So I just feel like everything is coming together. I'm getting more and more comfortable in the ring. Y'all getting to see more and more of me and my style and what I bring. So
I'm just gonna jump right into it. Everyone saw your performance. Everyone saw Virgil's performance. Um, Two essentially, I guess, different performance, but the boxing world, essentially has praised both as in one was an extremely tough fight with a durable guy, and one got
yeah.
an amazing stoppage. So Virgil versus Charles Conwell seems to be the fight that if everything works out, it's the fight that needs to get made. If politics and all that stuff is no longer a factor, or if Virgil doesn't go off and fight Crawford, it seems like the next fight that should be made, right?
Yeah, I feel like that makes sense on my end. Like you said, I think they want Terrence Crawford. Cameron, I'm on the phone. Second. I'm sorry. Uh yeah, like I said, I think they want to go in a Terrence Crawford direction, but I think the right fight to make is me and Vergil. I think that makes the most sense for both of us. It's an easy fight to make because we're both on the same network, same promotional company. So I think that makes most sense to both for both of our careers on our last performances and how we both perform.
I know the boxing public was torn on who they thought won the fight. It was very competitive. Some people feel it could go either or. Virgil got dropped twice. Boychuk,
Mm-hmm.
showed that he has a hell of a chin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, by watching that fight, and I know that essentially Virgil is the winner, regardless of the opinion.
Right.
Um, when you watch that, did it give you more confidence? Because we haven't seen Virgil get dropped like that and things like, did it add more confidence, or did you just already felt that you were able to, I guess, exploit some of the things that Boyacek was able to pull out?
I always knew I could beat either one of those guys, to be honest. I guess they just gave me a more of a confirmation on like now it's like I could beat both of them. Now it's like I could probably knock both of them guys out. Like there's not like no competition. You know what I mean? I feel like I can really separate myself from those guys by just going out there and just doing what I do best and finish those guys and dominate them. So I feel like that's what they gave me. Always knew I could beat both of those guys and that they weren't on my level. But now I just think I'm just like levels and levels above those guys now, and thinking I can get those guys out of there even in about 6 rounds or less. Maybe you never know.
Now, obviously, you know what you're capable of, and in the boxing world, like I said, hasn't really seen Virgil shaken up. Maybe the Mean Machine fight, but he's never
Mm-hmm.
got essentially like dropped multiple times in this case.
Right.
So a lot of people praise Virgil on his ability to get up, show some heart, things like that. Um, in this case, when you seen Virgil in that fight, was there anything that impressed you? Was it his heart, his ability to continue to fight? Did you kind of see if he made any adjustments? Was there anything he did essentially that maybe you didn't think he could do until you actually saw
Go 12 rounds. This is the
it?
first time going to full 12, so I really didn't expect it. I really didn't expect that fight to even go 12. To be honest, I thought somebody was gonna get stopped. So I seen him go 12, but other than that, I think Virgil does what Virgil does, and that's what he did. But I just think it just didn't end up the way he thought it was gonna end up.
He fought a natural kind of big guy compared to,
Yeah.
when he started at. He started at 140. I know that he's big in frame and things like that, but um, do you see like you being an actual, 154 pounder and
Mhm.
essentially matching up, do you just feel like you're physically stronger? Does the punches look like, essentially, if you guys went toe to toe like that, that he would have to be boxing more like how he did Boyacek? Because you may bring on strong, durable, tough fights because no one's really seen you, get cracked or hurt or anything in the fight. So
Yeah, I'm
is
on the
it is it
phone.
is it fair to make the assumption that maybe Vergil at 154 may not have the same punching power, or do you see him as like a guy that can crack at 154?
I mean, I feel like he still is a guy that's in crack because it's not easy to just knock out majority of the guys you fight no matter what weight class you in. But
Mhm.
as far as just like do I think he just have like extraordinary power for the division? Like he just touching everything he touch falls? Clearly not because of the last fight, but I think he still has good power. I think he still is a power puncher in the division. Do I think he is going to knock every guy out in the division? No. Do I think his punch does his punch still translate to 154? I think he still has a good punch at 154, but I just don't think he's the knockout artist that he once was before he came up to the division.
You know, Shakur Stevenson that night, I know that you guys were Olympic, you know, teammates.
Yeah,
He was going crazy on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it, but he was like, Charles Conwell, I told y'all about him. You
yeah,
know, I wish boxing, you know, essentially would give you the opportunity, right? Wish boxing
yeah.
wasn't the way it was, where the business is more than skills. You put in what the right people who's winning a world title and much more. So, with Shakur being, you know, the boxing IQ guy that, you know, he puts himself in. Do you feel like there's more than just Charles Conwell, the knockout artist that kind of essentially just can hurt, break down, and essentially bully the guy that these fights like with Vergil and stuff like that, that you'll be able to see and elevate what Shakur and many other people's been talking about you for
Oh yeah,
saying.
of course. I definitely think there's a more to me than what meets the eye. I just think like these guys I've been in there with, if I don't knock them out, then we wouldn't be talking right now. So, and if they don't belong in the ring with me, I'm gonna get them out of there every time. You know what I mean? I feel like in my past, there's been the opponents that I haven't knocked out that didn't belong in the ring with me that I didn't get out of there, and I feel like that kind of played a role in my career too, is not getting guys out of there who don't belong with me. So now I'm just trying to do my best and get those guys out of there and just continue to be great. But there's definitely another side of me that a lot of guys haven't seen. But in due time and with the right opponents, everything will come out and I can prove myself and show the world that what I really got.
You know, Bernard Saturday mentioned that you would be open to making the fight this year. Of course, if the Terrence Crawford fight, you know, and things, those opportunities don't hit Virgil's way. But when you hear Bernard say those type of things, and I know that you've been through a lot of politics and stuff, and they put you on the co-main, and it seems like everything makes sense. Do you take his word and feel that, hey, I'm gonna get the fight that I want this or next year? Like, does it feel like it's gonna happen?
To be honest, I don't feel like it ain't gonna happen this year for sure. I can tell you that. I think he's been in the hard out. I think he's gonna take a little break for a while because that was a hard fight, and I don't think he's just gonna come right back in December. Me personally, I don't think so. But if Bernard and Oscar say it can happen, I mean they're the president and the co-founders. Well, the owners and CEOs of the business. I feel like it can happen. I feel like with the if they push for it and everything is and all the businesses right, I feel like the fight can happen for sure. Yeah.
My last set of questions is, you know, with how things look with Turkey and Oscar kind of trying to make the Terrence and Ortiz fight. Would you be open to fight like Bohachuk or like a Madrimov or maybe one of those guys where it's maybe where the public sees that, hey, he's fought one of these guys that we've seen him in the big ring, in the ring with
Yeah.
one of the big name guys, and he was able to
Right.
perform. Would you be willing to take one of those fights? And do you think those guys will want to get in the ring with you?
I think so. I think for sure. I think that's definitely a possibility. Like you said, that's gonna get me in the mix and get them they get them right back in position to be where they want to be. So that's actually a really smart idea to be honest. Maybe we can do that on one of the undercards, maybe like you said, of the Vergil Ortiz or Terrence Crawford, just to see what guy can go to the next level and what guy got to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're self-promoting right there. Like, you know, Turkey,
Yeah.
that's the fight to put on there. So, my last question is, in all things, um, you know, I know Terrence is going to be the favorite facing Virgil if they fought.
Yeah.
Um, if they did fight, do you predict Terrence winning that fight? And then would you still want the Virgil fight if, by all means, Virgil does not come the victor of Terrence?
Of course, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think if they do fight, I don't think Vergil wins. But I think I would still want to fight Vergil if he didn't beat Crawford.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would still want to fight Vergil for sure because that could set up that could set up another big fight down the line. You know, you can just compare performances, and that's just like, I definitely do that. Yeah, for sure. I think that's what the game plan is going to be, kind of be for Vergil Ortiz. You know what I mean? I feel like they're gonna give him the Crawford fight. He gonna lose that. Probably get a comeback fight after that to shake back, and then they could try to put him in the ring with me. I feel like that's something that they would try to do.
So you're just so accustomed to the business that you're like, all right, I already see. I gotta get my fight into. I watched
Yeah,
Vergil lose to Crawford. He get a tune-up, and
yeah.
then that's the fight. So essentially, you're gonna be
I
fighting
feel
Vergil.
like at the end of I feel like at the end of next year, sometime, me and Vergil should be on a class course to fight. Especially if he fights Crawford at the top of next year sometime. I feel like he loses to Crawford, he gets a comeback fight, and then they bring him to me at the end of the year.
Now, why does Vergil lose to Crawford? Just as a, I know that he had a very tough fight. Styles make fights.
Yeah.
Why does Vergil lose to a guy who's moving up from essentially from 140 now to your division?
Yeah. I feel like Crawford just has more experience. Crawford has IQ. I just feel like Crawford's overall a better fighter than Vergil Ortiz. Not saying Vergil Ortiz is just the worst fighter in the world, but I just think Crawford just levels to the game. I just think Crawford's a level above, man.
So, well, look, right before I let you go, like I said, you had a tremendous performance. It was very short. Like it seems like when I watch your fights, they don't go really too long. But hopefully, you sign with Golden Boy doesn't keep you out of the ring too long. It seems like they keep you
Yeah.
very active. Just right when you got in, hopefully you get right back in.
Hopefully I
And
can get right back in December, and then we can shoot for something big and next year. Maybe on the Terrence Crawford versus Vergil Ortiz undercard if it happens.
absolutely. For the fans that's just tuning in and who wants to know a little bit more about you after seeing that, clean body shot that you landed in 2 rounds, where can they follow you at?
They can follow me on all social media platforms at Charles Conwell. Just my first and last name.